Welcome back, it's your boy Flicks back with another live stream. So, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? So, look, to lose another game in the Premier League, it's totally unacceptable. It really is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. To be losing to West Ham, totally unacceptable. Smash a like, have your say in the comments section. What are your thoughts on obviously losing another game in the Premier League, but to West Ham as well? You know, it's this for me. This has to be Thomas Frank done. I was all for Frank before kickoff yesterday. All for Frank. You know, nice guy, good manager, good manager. But coming to Tottenham, as we all know, is a whole different ballgame. Whole different ballgame. We all know that. So, what are your thoughts on Thomas Frank potentially being sacked, if not today, tomorrow? Because let's face it, I can't see, me personally, I can't see Thomas Frank managing the Dortmund game. Is it Tuesday, Wednesday night in the Champions League? I can't see him lasting further than that. I really can't. Really can't. I really can't right now. So, Spurs fans, let's hear your thoughts on that one. But if you can ask me, Flicks, what are your thoughts on the Thomas Frank situation? Enough is enough now. Enough is enough. 22 league games played. 22 league games played, and we've lost 9 games already. 9 games. It's turning out to be how it ended up last season. Fall from bottom, 21, 22 losses by the end of it. You know, I know with Ange Postecoglou, he put all his eggs in one basket to concentrate on that Europa League final. We all know that. At the same time, injuries, left, right and centre, you name it. We had so many injuries, about 13, 14 players out. You know what I mean? So now with obviously Thomas Frank, it's January's here, but one player is 2 players. Sorry, we got that Brazilian left back, right back, whatever it is. But obviously he's not been officially announced yet. But are we actually gonna get anyone else through the door? That's the big question mark there. Are we actually going to get anyone through the door? I really can't see it happening right now. I really can't. But again, Spurs fans, to see your thoughts in the comment section on that one. You know, leading up to the game yesterday, you know, part of me actually thought we was going to bag all 3 points. I really did. I actually thought we was going to bag all 3 points. And then, you know, part of me is actually thinking, where the fuck are the goals going to come from? Because we all know we up top wise, we're struggling for goals. We are relying on our centre backs right now. Romero, it proved it yesterday. Romero getting the only goal yesterday. Fantastic goal, you know, fantastic cross from Porro. But other than that, we did absolutely fuck all against a very, very poor West Ham side. Let's face it, they are poor. But we made West Ham look good in the end. You know what I mean? We are so shambolic. So shambolic. We are so embarrassing. We are rotten to the core. Rotten from the pitch to the board to the owners. Everything about it. Everything about it. You know what I mean? The fans anyway are, you know what I mean? It's so divided. It's so toxic. So toxic. It really is. It really is. It really is. But come on, let's see your thoughts on the current situation right now. What are your thoughts on that? Let's see your thoughts now. But you know, this cannot continue. Cannot continue. When you look at the next, obviously going into 1st of February. 1st of February, we are in deep shit. If you think we're in deep shit now, think again. Next set of fixtures: Man City, Man United, Newcastle, Arsenal, all in February. Oh yeah, it's going to be the most Spursiest thing, right? I know we're in a piss poor condition right now, but this would be the most Spursiest thing to actually bag all 3 points against the likes of Man City, You know what I mean? Maybe get a point against United. We already did that this season, a few months ago. Newcastle would probably lose, and we'll probably lose against Arsenal. But, you know, going back to yesterday, to lose 2-1 to West Ham, out of all people, Callum Wilson, who pretty much was on the verge of leaving West Ham before kickoff yesterday. He's been linked with a move away from West Ham. He had to get the fucking winner. What the fuck was Vicario doing? Calling out he got fouled. Personally, I don't see where that foul come from. He's looking at excuses right now. If you're a keeper, you gotta be on guard. You gotta be the boss. You know what I mean? You can't be fucking pushed and shoved around. It's total shambolic. Total shambolic. It really is. It really is. When you Matthews Tell, for me, who obviously got subbed off, but for me, that was the wrong player at that moment in time to be subbed off. He was trying, and that's funny saying that, because he has been poor previous games, but he was trying to show something. He was trying. I know Pedro Porro. Literally lost count how many times he was crossing the ball in, and 9 times out of 10, nothing was on the end of it. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going back to obviously the lineup. So obviously, Vicario in goal, back for Porro, Romero, Mickey van der Ven, Ben Davis. I just want to quickly go on about Ben Davis, man. I feel for the guy, I really do. A lot of people say he's past it, but do you know what? For me, he tries. He puts a shift in, but it's obviously it's not officially confirmed yet, but it's looking more likely now that Ben Davies has actually got a broken leg. You know what I mean? That could literally be the end of his Spurs days there, done and dusted. Ben Davies gone. Obviously it's not officially confirmed that he's broken his leg, but it's not looking pretty. Not looking pretty. So as Ben Davies there, obviously Gallagher and Gray. Obviously Archie Gray was subbed at half time. And Basuma come on. Obviously Gallagher. I know it's Gallagher's first game, but I was expecting a little bit more from Gallagher. But at the same time, you got to have quality in and around him at the same time to make all things work. Obviously, it wasn't working yesterday. Gray got subbed at half time. Basuma come on, and for me, I thought Basuma, with all the bollocks he's done back in the summer before AFCON, etc. Put that on hold for a minute. I thought Basuma put a shift in. I really did. I really did. Obviously, Odibert, Simmons, Tell, and Kolo Muani up top. Now I'm going to start with Odibert. I hate slagging my Spurs boys off, but the likes of Odibert, Simmons as well, man. Simmons, we all know what Simmons has got in his locker, but since he signed for Tottenham, he's not actually shown anything. Not actually shown anything. But at the same time, I know you got to have players in and around you to make things work. You know what I mean? So maybe give Simmons time. But as for Colin Mawani, I know you when you're a striker, you need your service. You know what I mean? You can't do it all, but quiet as a fucking mouse. It's Steve Colin Mawani. Obviously Bergville, Basuma, Danzo, Draguzin, Kinksky, Scarlett, Solanke, Doogie on the bench. You know what I mean? It's for the likes of Spence. Put it this way: when Spence come in, was it last? It was definitely last season. I can't remember the specific time when Spence actually came in, but in that early part of him actually getting first team football, regular football, it was immense. Jed Spence was immense, but just lately, he's been poor. I don't know if that's just me, but he's been poor. And then you've got someone like a Doogie, who for me, not only can bomb up and down the pitch, but better quality. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments section. This is your thoughts on that one. But all together, Spurs fans, whoever's watching this, please, let's see your thoughts in the comments section on, obviously, yesterday, the Thomas Frank situation. 22 league games played, 9 defeats. 9 fucking defeats. 9 defeats. bear with me, guys. I'm just getting the table up. Obviously, we've only won 7 of them. West Ham are on 4 wins. We gave them their 4th win of the season. Fucking shambles. Absolute shambles. It really, really is. Absolute shambles. You know, comment here, guys. To be sacked today. Yeah. It's it's a tough one. It is a tough one because I like Frank. I really do. I really like Thomas Frank. But I've said before in my past videos, if you've not seen them, check them out. I like Frank, but coming from Brentford to Spurs, it's a whole different ball game. Total different. It's a total different kettle of fish. Very, very different. At the same time, you got a board that, for me, not only are clueless, but they just don't give a monkeys about pushing forward, even though they come out with them with that bollocks of, oh yeah, we got Gallagher in, blah blah blah, Simmons, etc etc etc. We're trying to push forward Champions League football. We want regular top elite football, etc etc etc. But it's just brushing under the carpet for me. Just brushing under the carpet. You know, they're not showing anything, not showing anything. Not showing anything whatsoever. You know, we've gone so far backwards. So far backwards. You couldn't write it, man. You couldn't write it. Big up another comment here, guys. How can you be surprised as a Tottenham fan? This is what you are, mate. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's shambles. Absolute shambles. Absolute shambles. I can't see us getting anything against Dortmund. Obviously, previous games against Dortmund in the Champions League, we have literally brushed them aside. You know what I mean? We've bossed when it comes to Tottenham and Dortmund. We have bossed, but I can't see anything. I can't see anything other than another defeat. I really can't. And obviously, if Frank does last up until then that's him definitely gone by then. But I'll be very surprised, very shocked actually. That's what I should be saying. I'll be very shocked if Frank does last. You know what I mean? It's all good getting rid of the manager, but it's the same cycle time and time and time again from Pochettino. You know what I mean? We've had Jose, a winnable manager, Conte, winnable manager, been there and done it, delivered top silverware, but coming to Spurs, fucking shambolic. And we've gone down to your average. Ryan Mason coming twice. We've had Stellini, that was Conte's number 2. He lasted, what, 2-3 games, if that? You know what I mean? Nuno, Postecoglou, Frank. In the 6 or 7 years that Pochettino's been gone, we've had all those managers. And it's, like I said earlier, the same cycle, time and time and time again. I know there's that saying of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are cursed. Yeah, okay, yeah, we might be cursed, but we actually delivered something. We got some silverware. Our first trophy in 17 years. Our first European trophy in 41, 42 years, whatever it was. You know what I mean? I was all for Ange to stay until Christmas, and then we see where we are from there. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, Ange put all his eggs in one basket and focused on getting the boys, getting Tottenham to that final against Man United, and obviously we won it. But at the same time, the Premier League, where we finished in the Premier League, yeah, totally unacceptable. But like I said, he had to put all his eggs in one basket because at the same time, injuries. We had so many injuries, but at the same time, Ange wasn't helping himself with the system, the way he had the boys playing. It was attack, 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 attack. It doesn't matter how many goals you concede, as long as you attack and score goals at the same time. That wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough for me. You know what I mean? It's for me right now, please hit me up in the comment section if you think I'm deluded with what I'm going to say right now. But there's only one man that I feel that can come in, but at the same time, he needs the backing, and that's Pochettino. For me, Mauricio Pochettino has unfinished business at Spurs. When he got the sack, he should have never, ever, ever have got the boot in the first place. Should have never got the sack. How many of you watching this stream right now remembers Pochettino having an interview with Gary Lineker on BBC Sport, You know, he said something along the lines of, I've got a fantastic new home, got fantastic facilities. I've taken this team as far as I can take these boys, but I need new furniture. AKA Daniel Levy at the time, I need new signings. That's him saying, Levy, I need signings. Help me. I've taken this team as far as I can take them, but I need I need new furniture. I need new boys. Help me. And he didn't get that back in. Did not get that back in. If I remember rightly, it was leading up to that, the following season after that. If I remember rightly, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, please. But obviously that was Poch's days done as a Spurs manager. Off you go, ta-da! And here we are. Here we are, boys and girls. It's an absolute shambolic of a football club right now. And this, when is this mess gonna ever stop? When is this mess ever gonna stop? You know what I mean? I am. I don't know about you, but I am so sick to death of seeing the same shit week in, week out. Tottenham lost, Tottenham this, Tottenham that, Thomas Frank this, Thomas Frank that. The same thing, same thing. And to think again, like I said earlier, with Tottenham delivering their first major trophy in 17 years. That's 7 months ago. That was 7 months ago. I was one of the guys at the trophy parade, you know, thinking, "Oh my God, I've actually seen Tottenham deliver another bit of silverware." We've gone from that to this. You could not write it. You could not write it. Some are saying, you know, if this continues, Tottenham could be relegated. I don't think Tottenham will be relegated this season. Next season, definitely. If this bullshit does not stop, if the owners don't actually buck up their ideas, either back Frank or get rid of him, get whoever in, and actually seriously back the manager. Throw money at them, get quality players in. Get quality players in. At the same time, I know he will leave. He will leave, and something's telling me in the back of my mind right now. Mickey van der Ven. He will be gone by the end of the season. And for me, there's only one player right now that we should be keeping hold of and building around him. Build the squad around Mickey van der Ven. Build the squad around Mickey van der Ven, please. You know what I mean? There's so many players that need to be gone. So many players that need to be gone. You know, again, a lot of people were saying, you know, obviously a couple of days ago when we signed Conor Gallagher, oh yeah, we got a brilliant signing now. We're going to push forward. We're going to absolutely dominate against West Ham. We're going to start climbing the table now. No, fuck's sake, man, wake up, wake up. Wake up, yeah, Conor Gallagher, a very good player, a very good proven Premier League player. West Brom, Palace, Chelsea, done it in the Champions League with Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. He's been abroad, been there and done it, got the fucking t-shirt. But at the same time, he needs quality in and around him. It's like the very young Xavi Simons, who I do highly rate. I really do. But right, you know, he's let's face it, he's not had a good time at Tottenham. Not had a good time at Tottenham. At the same time, I know we got very good players missing. James Maddison, Dejan Kulusevski. You know what I mean? We are we are so desperate for them, just them two boys to come back. But we need more of that. We need more quality, And you know, can you really see? Hit us up in the comments, please. But can you really see the owners back in Frank if Frank is to stay? But I can't see it happening. Whoever that manager will be, can you really see the board backing? I can't see it happening. I really can't see it happening. It's the same cycle, time and time again, and you know many of us are just repeating ourselves because that's what it is. It's the same poxy cycle, time and time again. Please, if you've just joined, smash the like. Please smash the like. Get subscribing if you're new to my channel. Big up a few comments here. Antonio Conte will be forever right. You'll sack the next coach, and just the same. Yeah, it's exactly with Conte. he spoke his mind, and you know it was only a matter of time before Conte did do that, because that's what Conte does. He doesn't give a toss what he says. He speaks. Yes, he speaks the truth, but he speaks his mind. You know what I mean? Obviously, it was only a day or two after he actually spoke his mind. Ta-da, off you go. Obviously, that's when Stellini coming for what, 2 or 3 games, like I said, if that, you know, not very good. And then, if I remember rightly, that's when Ryan Mason had his second spell as a interim Spurs manager. You know what I mean? It's another comment here. Big up Henry. I don't think he will get the sack though. Vin thinks he's our Arteta. Yeah. Now, I want to talk about the board. The board. Obviously, Lang. You know, Aston Villa reject. Vin, Arsenal reject. You know, what the fuck are their roles? What are they actually doing at our club? What do they actually do? What do they actually do? You know what I mean? Obviously, Vin took Vin took Daniel Levy's role, but you know what the fuck do they actually do? What do they actually do? It's you got so many people in and around the board. They're just so clueless, haven't got a clue what to do. What's the next move? Do we back Frank? Do we sack him? It, it's how many of you watching this was at the protest yesterday? From what I could see, there wasn't a very good turnout. Wasn't a very good turnout. I was expecting. Obviously, I couldn't make it myself. I wish I could have made it, but I couldn't. But you know, if we're gonna make our voices heard, it needs to be a much better turnout. It really does. It really does. You know, at the same time, for me, I actually can't remember the last time I was at the club. Obviously, I was there for the trophy parade 6 or 7 months ago now. But the last time I actually went there to see a game was, you're talking a good couple of years ago. You know what I mean? You know, you know, I'm getting to the point now where Tottenham fans are still going now. Stop going. Stop. Boycott. Boycott the club. Stop buying tickets. Stop buying your merchandise. It's like yesterday, I was watching a couple of streams. One of them I was watching for a bit was We Are Tottenham TV, and you know, there's I think it was Brian at the time. It was, correct me if I'm wrong, please, if you was watching their stream, but I'm sure Brian come out along the lines of saying, you know, boycott season tickets. It might be Stelios saying it, actually. It might be Stelios, you know, boycott the football club altogether. Stop buying tickets. Stop buying merchandise. Because yesterday, you know, he went storming out after full time. You know, I would have done the same thing, just storm out. But there was a hell of a lot of Spurs fans actually lingering around, buying points of beer, buying you burgers. All that money's just being back into the fucking club. And what are we getting in return? What are we getting in return other than another fucking loss in the Premier League? Shambles. It's an absolute shambles. It really is. It really is. I'm just going through the comments again, guys. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? What's even the point of Tottenham getting into top four? You'll just bottle whatever journey you're in. Yeah, exactly. Another comment here. Harry or Robbie would be a good interim manager. Right. First things first. First things first. Harry Redknapp. Look, I'll rate Redknapp big time now, but he's in his 80s, man. He's in his 80s. He's had his time as manager. Let the guy rest. Let him rest. Let him spend his time with his family and Sandra. He's had his time. He's had his time. He doesn't need to walk in to a pile of shit and try and give the boys a bit of morale, you know, a little bit of boost. He doesn't need that pressure. He doesn't need that bollocks. He doesn't need that time. As for Robbie King, no, no. not as interim manager. No. Obviously, very good player, very good player. But look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you actually get in. Sorry, it doesn't matter who you actually get in at the club. You know, the board are to answer for. ENIC are to answer for, Joe Lewis are to answer for. At the end of the day, whoever is the manager needs to be seriously backed. Seriously backed. Because it's just the same thing. Week in, week out, and that's what it's turning out to be. It really is. It really is. Another comment here. I got hospitality for Dortmund, for the Dortmund game. Looking forward to the food. Yeah, the food's banging, but seriously, man, you're wasting your time. You really are wasting your time. I know, yeah, you want to probably go there for the atmosphere, but it's just going to be the same old shenanigans, it'd be booze at half time. Another Spurs defeat would be like it's bag a goal. I'm really dreading that Dortmund game. I really am. I really am. To think, like I said earlier in my stream, to think, back in the Champions League when we used to literally boss Dortmund, boss them. We were guaranteed that win against Dortmund. But now, right now in this current situation we are in, I am literally dreading facing Dortmund. I really am. I really am. I really am. Bring back Poch in the summer. Exactly. Pochettino for me. I know. You might be calling me delusional right now, but like I said, it doesn't matter what manager you bring in. It's just going to be the same cycle. But for me, Poch, not only does Pochettino have unfinished business, he should have never got the boot in the first place when it was 6 or 7 years ago now. Should have never ever have got the boot. For me, Poch, I feel Poch is one that can bring a little bit of fight, a little bit of passion into the kids, into the likes of Archie Gray, etc. Bring that morale. To think what we could have had with Poch. Obviously, when we did have Poch, we was guaranteed at least fourth. No, we didn't get any silverware at the end of it, but it just needed that one or two signings just to come in, just to get us that other foot over the line to grab some silverware. You know what I mean? At the same time with Poch, we had very, very good entertaining football, very, very good football. And again, our defence, we had one of the best defence for a good couple of seasons on the trot. You know what I mean? I know at the same time we were very, very lucky with the youth breaking through, the likes of Ollie, Skip and Winks at the time. They had a very good couple of seasons under Poch. Obviously now they've literally gone to shit and playing championship football now. To think where they were at the time to now, you couldn't write it. You literally couldn't write it. But like I said, Pochettino for me, he was there, yes, at the right time. Like I said, we had very good youth system trying to break through to the first team. We were very lucky to have a top scorer in Harry Kane. Again, one of the guys that come from the youth, Tottenham youth. We had Heung-min Son, who for me was fucking fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and he deserves that statue. Deserves that statue outside the lane. We were very, very lucky, very, very lucky to have that squad. Poch was very, very lucky, but I still feel he has unfinished business. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to the board. Are the board going to back whoever's coming in? Or is it going to be Frank staying going to be back till the end of the season? Whatever it is, the board, ENIC, the Lewis family have to back. Have to back. Otherwise, I know it's not going to be this season, but definitely next season, if this bullshit continues, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club will be playing Championship football. Let's face it, we will be in the Championship. And once obviously, as you know, you reach the Championship is a fucking tough, very, very tough league to break out of because you need goal scorers. You need your goal scorers. Right now, in this current situation we are in, we don't have goal scorers. Yeah, we've got Solanke. If we was to keep hold of Solanke, if we ever did reach the Championship, yeah, I feel Solanke could bag 20, 25 goals. Other than that, at the same time, so many players would walk. So many players would walk. At the same time, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club at the same time would lose so much money. You only got to look back to Heung-min Son when Sonny left. When Sonny left, South Korean fans followed, but there was such a big a crowd of South Korean fans just at the lane just to see Sonny. Obviously now Sonny's gone. They're not there. They are not there. They are not there. Honestly. Another comment here. Bring back Poch in the summer. Oh, sorry, I read that one. Not even Poch can save you lot. Yeah. Let's face it. Like I said, the board are to answer for. Enoch, the Lewis family, they are to answer for. I don't know. It's just racked my brains now. I don't know if any of you have actually seen this on social media, but there was a fan obviously at the game yesterday at full time. He was in the was it the hospitality section, wherever it would. Anyway, he was near where Lang and fucking the other Muppet was sitting, and there was actually confronted by this Spurs fan, literally calling out the board need to go, the board need to sell up. What the fuck is going on? And the Spurs fan, I big that Spurs fan up, for having the bottle to actually walk up to those Muppets and call them out. But they didn't stop for 1 second to say hello. It was completely ignored, completely ignored. And again, it's a fucking shambles. It's an absolute shambles of a football club right now. To not even have the bottle to turn around and speak to this Spurs fan, not even just to say hello. Oh, sorry, you come to the game today, see another Spurs defeat. None of that whatsoever. None of that whatsoever. You need David Moyes. No. That's not the answer there. That is not the answer there. Carrick works wonders. Why not Keane? Yeah, Michael Carrick. He done a fantastic job at Middlesbrough. Obviously, he managed to bag all 3 points for United yesterday against Man City. I personally did not see that result coming whatsoever yesterday. I only see a City win, but for them to bag all 3 points and a clean sheet, yeah, very good start from Michael Carrick. But yeah, for Tottenham, like I said, it doesn't matter who comes in. It's all about the backing. But I feel with Poch, like I said, I'm repeating myself now, but he's got unfinished business. But at the same time, yes, the board are to answer for. Whoever comes in, could be fucking Mickey Mouse for all I know. But whoever comes in, they need the backing. They need serious money thrown at them. Go out and go and get whoever you want. Go and do it. Go and do it. You got my full support. You got my full backing, etc., etc., etc. Go and get whoever you want. But that will never fucking happen. That will never, ever, ever happen. Never. Another comment here. Poch gave you for chance. Mason, Livermore, Kane, Winks, Skip, Townsend, all had opportunities. Yeah. Townsend was, in my opinion, very good for those first. God, I'm trying to think now. It seems such a long time ago. Andros Townsend. He had a good couple of spells at Tottenham in his early days of breaking through. Ollie Skip as well. Winksy, again, very good couple of seasons, but for some reason they just obviously fell out of favour with other managers when Poch went, but they just spiraled downhill dramatically. And to think that they're both at Leicester playing Championship football, you couldn't write it. You could not write it. To think only a few years ago they was playing not so much regular football with Tottenham, but Champions League football, for fuck's sake. And they've gone from that to this. Another comment here. David Moyes is fully wrapped up at Everton. That's a no-go. Yeah, definitely. Robbie Keane or Harry till the end of the season. Couldn't be any worse. Or Poch, of course. Yeah, like I said earlier, Robbie Keane. Maybe is I really don't know. I really don't know. I was going to say maybe as interim manager till the end of the season if Frank is gone by the end of today, if not tomorrow. I'll like I said earlier in my stream, I'll be very shocked if Thomas Frank is still the manager of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club by the time we kick off against Dortmund in the Champions League. I really do. Like I said earlier, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but for the likes of Redknapp, nah, he's in his 80s now. Let him have his time with his family. Let him rest. He doesn't need that constant hassle, that stress. You know, all the bullshit that's going on right now. He does not need that. Does not need that. Another comment here. You wear the same hat as Great Expressions, who, by the way, went ballistic at our performance. Yeah. Big up Fresh Ego, kid. Big up Fresh Ego. But yeah, here we are. Big up you guys for watching. Get subscribing if you're new to my channel. I'd appreciate it. Please get smashing the likes. The more likes, the better. Please, I really do appreciate it. But yeah, obviously, like I said earlier, and I'll say again, losing to West Ham, totally unacceptable. And to think who we have. Bear with me, guys. I'm just getting a fixture list back up. To think our next set of fixtures, obviously, we've got Dortmund Tuesday night. That's back at the Lane. Then we're back in the Premier League on next weekend on the Saturday. We're away to Burnley. Now, right now, how many of you watching this can actually see Tottenham beating Burnley? If we can't beat West Ham, surely we can't even beat Burnley. Let's face it. And at the same time, where right now, where are the goals going to come from? Where are the goals going to come from? Excuse me, guys. After that, we're away to Frankfurt again in the Champions League. That's on the 20th of January, and then it just gets even worse. February. I don't know. I don't know if how many of you have actually seen the February fixture list, but we got Man City at the Lane, Man United away, back at the Lane against Newcastle, and back at the Lane against the Arsenal on the 22nd of February. February is a fucking shit month for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. It really is. It really is. But like I said earlier in my stream, and I'll say again, it will be the most Spursiest thing to probably lose against Dortmund. We'll probably draw. We'd be I'll say it again, we'd be very lucky to get a point against Burnley. They done very well against Liverpool yesterday, by the way. I can't see us getting anything against Frankfurt away, and then obviously going into Man City, it would be the most Spursiest thing to actually go and beat Man City. And at the same time, I'll be very, very pissed off if we actually do win that game, because obviously Arsenal are sitting pretty at the league, and it would just mean Arsenal, they're just going, they're just bombing away right now with the points. You know what I mean? But like I said, it'd be the most Spursiest thing for Tottenham to go and beat Man City. It really will. City just lately seem to struggle against Tottenham. I really don't know why. I just don't get it. Just don't get it. And obviously after that, we've got Man United away, Newcastle, and the Gunners. Can you really see Spurs getting anything against United? If it's going to be anything like how Man United played yesterday, I can't see Tottenham getting anything whatsoever. Newcastle at the Lane again. I can't see anything other than a fucking defeat back at the Lane again, and obviously back at the Lane after that against the Arsenal. Can't see it. I'm just going to have a little bushes in March. Obviously in March, 1st of March, we're away to Fulham. Back at the Lane again against Crystal Palace, and then we're away against Liverpool, and back at the Lane on the 21st of March against Nottingham Forest. So here we are, guys. Here we are. And to think 22 league games played, sitting 14th in the table with only 7 wins and 9 defeats. It's I know I'm finding myself repeating myself now, but when is this mess actually going to stop? When is this mess actually going to stop? This mess will stop. This mess will stop until the owners, the board, the whole fucking shebang, the whole lot of them actually buck their ideas up and back the manager, whoever that may be, if it's Thomas Frank, if he stays, etc., whoever. Nothing will ever change. I've said that before. I said that before when we had way before even Postecoglou come in. Probably when Conte left. When Conte actually spoke his mind about the board, and, I fucking rate him for that, because I know it takes a lot of bottle to come out and say that, because at the same time you're going to get a lot of hate from fans, etc., etc., etc. But from Conte going, you know, I've said the same. It'd be the same thing time and time again, and that's what it's turning out to be. The same cycle time and time again, and it all boils down to the board. It all boils down to them muppets sitting up in the board, saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to get so and so, and we're going to do this. They're not showing it. They are not showing it. I know we bought some young kid from Brazil, left back, is it? Why the fuck have we bought another left back? Why? Why? We should be right now in this current situation we are in. We don't need any more defenders. We need creative midfielders. We need wingers. We need strikers. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Here we are. Another comment here. I do not. Sorry, I do miss Harry on deadline day. Yeah, yeah. Same. Scott Parker's boys fight for a win. Yeah, big up. Yeah, Scotty Parker. I'm going off subject now, but Scotty Parker's got Fulham firing just lately. He really has. He really has. Another comment here. Big up, Big Pants again. Although Man City seem to have. Sorry, I said it again. Although Man City seems to have shot their load. Yeah, it's a weird one when Tottenham face Man City, because I don't know what it is, but they just seem to bottle it. I don't know, but I know it's going to be another Tottenham defeat, but I really do hope Man City do turn us over, because it just means, obviously, if Man City drop points, it just means the Arsenal running away with the title. It really does. Obviously, it didn't help with Man City dropping points yesterday, but here we are, guys. Here we are. But Spurs fans, before I do shoot, what are your thoughts? What are your real thoughts on the current situation at Tottenham? What are your thoughts on Thomas Frank? Are you Thomas Frank in? Are you Thomas Frank out? If Thomas Frank does get the boot, because for me right now, I really feel his days at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are done. So for me, if Frank is gone, who's going to come in? I know that a lot of people, especially yesterday on the old streams, are calling out for likes of Xavi Alonso to come in, Xavi to come in, the ex-Barca manager. He, there's even rumours going out that we're going to get Oliver Glasner. For me, I don't want Oliver Glasner. And again, at the same time, it really does not matter who you get in. Like I said, you get fucking Mickey Mouse in, Scooby Doo, whatever. It's just going to be the same cycle time and time and time again. At the end of the day, the board are to answer for. They need to seriously back the manager. Give the manager what he wants, what he needs, back in 100%. But yeah, here we are, guys. Another comment here. Frank has to go. Get a proper manager. Xavi, Alonso, De Zerbi. Yeah. I forgot about him. Yeah, the ex-Brighton manager. And start matching top club wages. Another comment here. Glasner is just another Frank. Yeah, Glasner. You know, let's not get it twisted. Glasner has done a fantastic job at Crystal Palace. You know, who would have thought that he would have won the FA Cup last season, and Community Shield at the start of this season. Before that, they've not won a major trophy in their entire history. So, but for me, for Glasner to join Tottenham is it's going to be another Frank. You know, no disrespect to Palace, no disrespect to Brentford, but coming from those low ranked clubs to Spurs, like I said earlier, is a whole different ballgame. Whole different ballgame. For me, Frank, I like Frank. I really think he's a nice guy, a very good manager, but he's not a very good manager for Tottenham. He's out of his depth. He is out of his depth. And again, right now, I feel the squad have lost it all with Frank. I really do. It's again going back to the full-time whistle yesterday. How many of you actually see? Because obviously it was doing rounds on social media, so that's how I come across it. But Frank was possibly arguing with Cristian Romero. Now, if that's the case, then here we go. He is slowly losing the dressing room. Let's face it, he is slowly losing the dressing room, and it's not going to look good. Not going to look good if that's the case. Another comment here: get the interim manager in quickly. An ex-Spurs player would help save the season. it's it's just the same merry-go-round, and it's same merry-go-round. Like I keep saying, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter who comes in. It doesn't matter who comes in. The board are to answer for. Enoch, Joe Lewis, the whole fucking Lewis family, they're to answer for. When, for fuck's sake, when was the last time Joe Lewis himself actually went to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club? Actually went there. You know what I mean? I don't actually think he's ever been to the New Lane. I really don't. He's just living it up in the fucking Bahamas, wherever it is. You know, raking his money. You know, counting his money week in, week out. But you know, I know I keep saying it now. But when is this mess actually gonna stop? When is this mess actually gonna stop? Well, this mess will stop when the owners either buck their ideas up or they sell up. Because it's just going to be the same thing week in, week out. It's like with the whole I know I'm going off subject now, but other Premier League clubs like Newcastle, obviously the Newcastle fans were calling out for Mike Ashley to leave. That was going on for a good number of years, good couple of seasons. It actually took Newcastle to be relegated for them to come up, and that's when I think he actually went, if I remember rightly. But is that what it's going to take? Does, you know, for the board to go, the Tottenham Hotspur Football Club have to get relegated for the board to actually go, do you know what? Fuck it. We're in the championship now. We're fucked. Let's go. We're running. Is that where we're going to now? Is that the only way we're actually going to get the board, the whole shebang, to literally pick up and fuck off? Come on, let's face it. This I know the rumours were doing its rounds, especially last season. You know, rumour had it that a bunch of Arabs were gonna try and put an offer in to Levy at the time to buy the club. You know, and you know, I can't see it. I really can't see it. You know, and like I said, I actually feel it will. The only way the board, the whole lot will go is if we actually do get relegated. Obviously, that won't be this season. Won't be this season. You know, I know we're currently 10 points. We're only 10 points clear of West Ham. West Ham are sitting third from bottom. I know there's still a long way to go, but I can't see Tottenham getting relegated this season. If anything, it'll be next season. If it's just going to be the same cycle this time next season, then yeah, we will be in deep shit. We will be in a relegation battle, 100%, 100%. At the same time, can you really see by the start of next season? Can you really see the likes of Mickey van der Ven staying? You know what I mean? People like Xavi Simons, can you really see him staying? Vicario, it looks like it was only a couple of months ago. Vicario wanted out of the club. He was being heavily linked with a move back to his home country, Italy. Romero, I know Romero signed a new contract just recently, but can you see Romero staying? Not probably not. You know what I mean? We are just a fucking shambles right now, an absolute shambles right now. Another comment here. By your reasoning, what top manager would you want to come in? I've said it and I'll say it again. I know I'm partly contradicting myself now, but for me, Pochettino, Mauricio Pochettino is yes. We all I feel, I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel Pochettino has unfinished business. He should have never got the boot in the first place. And like I said, and I'll say again, how many of you actually remember Pochettino having that famous meeting with Gary Lineker saying, "I've got a fantastic new home, fantastic facilities, etc., etc., etc. I've taken this squad as far as I can get. I need new furniture." AKA Daniel Levy, help me out. I need quality players to now come in. I've taken this team as far as I can take them, but I need help now. He never got that back in. Instead, he got the boot. Off you go. But for me, Pochettino, yeah, I know he has unfinished business, but is he the answer? But at the same time, it all boils down to the owners, the board, Lang, Vin, them two Muppets there, Enoch, Joe Lewis, the Lewis family, the whole shebang. It all boils down to them at the end of the day. Are they going to back whoever the manager is? Are they going to seriously back the manager and go, okay, you want that player, quality, yeah, have the money, go and get him, go and get him. We'll pay the wages, we'll pay what he wants, because at the same time, that's how Daniel Levy worked. He worked with a price of, okay, yeah, we're going to get that player in. We're not going to pay him any more than whatever. You know what I mean? It's if you want, at the end of the day, if you want quality signings, you need to be paying your top dollar. I'm sure Tottenham Hotspur Football Club can afford to pay to pay those top wages. I really do. I really do. And at the end of the day, it all boils down to the board and the Lewis family. It really does. It really does now. It really does. Nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever change. Another comment here. Being totally honest, your team isn't good enough to be competing at top four. No, we're not. We're nowhere near that. We've gone so far backwards now. Where you should put the owners need to be gone. Yeah, exactly. The owners need to be gone. The owners need to set up, because it's just the same thing week in, week out, and it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. Another comment here. I'm sure they would stay if we had European football. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But we're miles off that. I know we're in Champions League football this season. That's only because we won the fucking Europa League last season. But, you know, right now in this current situation we are in, we are mid-table at best. Mid-table. I can't believe I'm saying that, because, you know, I back in the day when we was always guaranteed fourth, maybe fifth, you know, fantastic football, scoring goals. You know what I mean? I know we had Sonny and Kane, etc., a few other players carrying the team, but to think what we had to now is, you couldn't write it. You really could not write it. And like I said, we are mid-table at best. Mid-table at best. And here we are, guys. Here we are, guys. Another comment here. Poch would be available until after the World Cup. Yeah, obviously with if it, a big question mark. If it was to be Pochettino, then, you know, is obviously going to be available after the World Cup. You know, he's contracted to manage USA until after the World Cup, which is only a few months away now. So it's going to be an interesting one. It will be interesting. It will be interesting. But for me, I really feel, before I do shoot, I really feel that Thomas Frank's days are done. To think he's only been at the club. Where are we now? 6 months, is it? About 6 months now. He's been at the club, and to think we had a very good start, beating Man City. We that game against Man City, we dominated, absolutely dominated Man City. I know we do dominate Man City 9 times out of 10 just recently, but obviously we did win that game. But like I said, we had a fantastic start. But obviously there was a few hiccups here and there where we dropped points against Bournemouth, a team that we should be beating. Then we draw against Wolverhampton Wanderers, where the likes of Jalpina are celebrating like we just bagged all 3 points. You know what I mean? A last minute equaliser. Teams like that, we should be brushing aside and bagging all 3 points. We have gone so far backwards. So far backwards. You know what I mean? And you know, when is this nonsense gonna, when is this shit show of a football club actually gonna get some sort of backing? And at the end of the day, it all boils down to the board, the owners, Enoch, etc. They either seriously back the manager or they sell up. it's just going to be the same cycle time and time and time again. It really will. Another comment here. Maybe we should have Ron manager from the from the far show. Another comment here. Vicario wouldn't start in any of the 19 Premier League teams. It would be my first change. Yeah, Vicario is a funny one. Vicario is a funny one. He's obviously started off all right, but just lately he's been absolutely terrible. We've only got to go back to last night's shambolic game against West Ham. The way we conceded West Ham's winner, that should not be happening. Should not be happening. Vicario claiming that he got shoved over by, was it Callum Wilson? Oh, come off it, man. If you're a keeper, you stand your ground. You stand your ground. Know what I mean? It's just looking at excuses right now. Looking at excuses, and to think that he even went to VAR at the time. Yeah. Here we are. Here we are, guys. Here we are. It's, you know, I'm going to call it a day there, guys. But yeah, when is this nonsense going to stop? You know, it's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time now before Frank does get the boot. Like I said earlier, and I'll say again, I can't see. Well, I'll be very shocked if Thomas Frank is managing Tottenham by the time the Dortmund game does come here, Tuesday, Wednesday night. But yeah, here we are, guys. Here we are. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Please smash the likes. The more likes, the better. So yeah, I do really appreciate it, guys. That is me done. I will catch you lot on the next video. Take it easy.